Hi folks, Slick Slices here. This is really just another channel update, a further channel update. I am still in hospital with my broken neck, but hopefully I'll be out in a couple of weeks. As a prelude to that, I have a weekend pass. So I got out of hospital on Friday the 19th of May, and I won't have to go back until tomorrow, which will be Sunday the 21st of May. So I'm going to make a few little videos today, as long as my voice lasts, because I do have a little problem with my voice being rather weaker than it was before and a bit croaky. So we'll see how far we can get. But by way of a sort of prelude to that, I just wanted to show you I have a bit of an embarrassment of riches, really, not knowing exactly where to start with my my shoot of videos. But let's just have a quick recap of what's coming up, and then I'll shoot a couple of videos. So I've still got the last of the last set of high-end knives to come. There's a Fox Damascus, very nice actually. We'll come back to that. I have a couple of I actually have a couple of Joseph Rogers knives and a George Wolstenholme knife. Now these are new ones as opposed to old sort of classic IXL Wolstenholme knives and Star and Maltese Cross Rogers knives, but they're interesting. I'm pleased to have them. I've got my first Almar knife. These were originally made in Seki City by G Sakurai and then later by Moki Knives. I think this one is, well, I know this one is slightly later. It's Moki made as opposed to G Sakurai made, but it's you can tell that by its age, but it's still Japanese. Now they're generally made in China. This one was made in Japan. Then Tactile Turn. I have the Tactile Turn Bear or Bexar, depends how you want to pronounce it. So we'll have a little look at that. This one's nice. This is a Midgard's Messer. It's the Little Viking, and we will come and have a look at that one fairly shortly. It's very nice. It's also quite interesting, and it has a connection to that Fox knife as well, in that their target market is Germany, as opposed to target market being America or even the UK. It's German made, it's a German company. Their folders are made in China. The fixed blades are made in Germany, but they're made certainly for a German market, and I'll talk about why that is at some point. Now, finally, and I probably will do these first in terms of shooting videos. I have a couple of knives from QSP. They contacted me. I'd done a couple of reviews of a couple of their knives that I've bought. The Worker, the Arthur Brem designed Worker, and the Denim Micarta Penguin, which I did right at the beginning of this year. Well, they contacted me just before my fall, so end of January, beginning of February, I think, and they offered to send me a couple of knives. So they arrived after I'd had my fall, so I should have been reviewing these back in February, and in some ways it would have been more relevant back then, but I'm going to do them now anyway, because they sent them to me, and you know, that was very kind of them. And at some point we'll probably do a giveaway of at least one of them, but I'll get them reviewed and we'll see them shortly. I've also, there's a couple of others that I have picked up. There's another little ladybug, Spyderco ladybug, and a friend of mine, Colin Cameron, sent me this little thing, which is just a bit of fun really, but it was nice of him to do it. He sent me this and a book on naval warships, which is another interest of mine. So there we are. That's all for this video. But the first video, and I think I say we'll start with the QSP knives, will be coming up almost immediately. At least that's the plan, and then we'll see how many more I can get filmed today. As I say, I've got to go back to hospital tomorrow, but hopefully I'll be home next weekend, and I'll certainly, I think the weekend after that, I'll be home permanently, which is a bit scary, I have to say. As I say, I broke my neck back in February, and not for the first time. That's my second spinal cord injury, and there is a considerable deficit this time. My right arm is much worse than it was. My left arm is a little worse than it was. My ability to walk is much worse than it was. I'm now hurtling around on a Zimmer frame, a walking frame, whereas before I used to use just a walking stick in the house, and out of the house I was in a wheelchair or a scooter, and that will remain the case, I think. But the walking stick, unfortunately, in the house has been replaced by a Zimmer, although I'm hoping to get on to at least 2 crutches, even if I can't get down to just 1. But only have 2 more weeks of rehab to go, so it's difficult to know exactly where it'll turn out. But other than that, I'm reasonably healthy. I've had 1 or 2 problems. I got a nasty chest infection, which put me on the critical list for a week. And then since then, I've had 2 very nasty choking episodes, one of which they set off the alarm, and the crash team, and the defibrillator, and the anaesthetist, and a horde. I mean, there's about 24 medics suddenly appeared in my room, while one of the nurses, a wonderful woman called Jen, who beat lumps out of me, but actually managed to clear my throat. And 1 or 2 of the other nurses were fantastic, but Jen was an absolute hero and literally saved my life. So I owe her a lot. Anyway, so that's where we are. If you want to see some of the stuff that's coming up, please subscribe, and these things will come to you. Okay, that's it for just now. Oh, just one last thing. Thank you to all the people who have sent me kind words, small gifts, and just keep me going, keep me hanging in there, and remind me that the internet may be a slightly unpleasant place at times, but occasionally it can be filled with really wonderful people who do beautiful things, and I thank you all for that. I was going to name some people, but if I do that, I'll name some and miss some. But I would call out particularly to Toby, Tobias, Knife Chats with Tobias, and Rick at Warthog. Those 2 have been, really, really good friends to me. It doesn't mean to say others haven't been friends as well, but they just stand out as 2 who've really, really stood by me and helped me. So thank you very much for that. I'll see you all again soon. Cheers. Bye.